When the Nintendo Switch was revealed, it was very similar to the Wii U in the sense that they advertised it that way. And that really put me off. I also didn't see that big of an upgrade between both of the consoles, so I didn't really like it at the time. I mean, upgrades are normally huge. You can see the power gap between the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, but for Nintendo the power gap wasn't really that big, and they were advertised as the same type of console, so I didn't really like that idea. But then again, as they released more features and revealed more information about the Switch, I began to get encouraged to buy it. And by the time it reached March, I wanted to get it on launch day. But then again, I was really confused on buying it or not buying it because the library of games wasn't really that vast at the time. So now it's June, and I recently got the Switch. And now I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on the Switch, and looking at how it got upgraded since March to June. Now, one of the first things that struck me about the Nintendo Switch was how small it was. I expected it to be a bigger console, and I expected it to be a thicker console because of its power, but it ended up being really slim. I mean, you could compare its thickness to a normal smartphone, and you wouldn't really be surprised. What I also liked were the controls, called the Joy-Cons. People have been complaining about these, but I don't find any problems, although the analog sticks can be a bit stiff in the beginning. What I like about the Joy-Cons is that you can play with them separately, and you can use them for party games, so it's like everyone gets a Joy-Con. So with one pair of Joy-Cons you get 2 players, 2 pairs of Joy-Cons, 4 players, etc. Something else I really liked were the games, although there weren't many and they still aren't many in the store. The game quality itself makes up for the lack of games. Breath of the Wild is amazing. There are many things I noticed during my playthrough, but I'll leave those for another video. Let's just say it's my favorite Zelda game so far, and I've played practically every single one of them. The other game I have is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's not that much of a difference from the original Mario Kart 8, but the graphics look gorgeous on the Switch. And it seems like they're even at 1440p, although the Switch caps out at 1080p. Now, the thing that was advertised the most about the Switch is the fact that it's a portable console, as well as being a family console. Now, you can really see this when you're playing a game and then you're forced to move. Now, all you have to do is slip the Joy-Cons on the console again, pick it up, and then just go. And that's how easy it is to change from docked mode to handheld mode. And this is something I completely adore, because let's say you're sitting at home and you're playing, then you have to go somewhere else. So you can just pick up the console and move, and you won't see any problems on the way. The interface of the Switch is also really easy to use. Although they don't have proper online functionality like other consoles such as the Xbox and the PlayStation, it's still really easy to use, and the friend code system isn't really that bad. One of the biggest complaints, if not the biggest complaint fans had with the Nintendo Switch upon its release, was the lack of games. Now, during these 3 months since March to June, Nintendo have updated the game roster and they've updated the game library with much more games. And now, seeing that E3 already passed, they announced many more games to come in the future. So supposedly, by the holiday season, we should see the Nintendo Switch game library being tripled or quadrupled because of the amount of games that are going to be released. Many of the Nintendo Switch's problems have been solved 3 months after it has been released. One of the things I really want for the Nintendo Switch is the ability to add in a SIM card. Now, this would mean you'd be able to connect to data connections, and that would be something amazing. Because if you're on the go, you wouldn't necessarily have a Wi-Fi connection, and having the ability to turn on and off data would be amazing for the Switch due to its portability. Now, that's just an extra request, and that's nothing to take away from the console itself. Nintendo are known for not putting SIM card slots in any of their devices, especially the 3DS, which has had approximately a 6-year lifespan at the moment, and they still haven't added a SIM card slot. So that's just one thing I can keep hoping for. But overall, the Nintendo Switch is amazing. The build quality is good, the games are good, more games are going to be released, and it's a relatively new console. That means its support is never going to be delayed in the future. Until like 7 years later or something like that. But a relatively new console compared to the PlayStation or the Xbox One. So I think it's a good investment, and it's a really nice console to have. Now, seeing that I have a PlayStation, a PC, and a Nintendo Switch, that literally means I can play any game I want. And I'm satisfied. So overall, I'd give a Nintendo Switch a 9 out of 10 rating, since there is no such thing as a perfect console, but this is probably the closest thing, in my opinion. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, suggestions, or ideas for next videos, feel free to drop them down below. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and share it with your friends. And if you want to see more content in the future, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you later.